Hi folks, Steve here and welcome into TK Power Sports. I am here at Club BRP at the Can-Am booth, and everything back here is a 2027. So right now I'm going to walk you through all that's new with Can-Am ATVs and side-by-sides for the upcoming model year. Make sure you stay tuned. And we can start right here. This is the 2027 Outlander Max XMR. Now the XMR models from Can-Am are all about going in the mud, but now they've put it on the Max platform, which means you have a longer wheelbase here now. And that's what these mud riders were asking for, just for a little bit of that extra stability, a little bit of that extra weight down in the mud. Now normally the Max is a 2-seat model, but here on the XMR, you don't get that second passenger seat. It's still a 1-up. But you do get this extra little storage bin back here, which is handy. Now, the other features you're gonna see, of course, these tires. That is a set of tires from XPS. You can just see those massive paddles on there. You probably already noticed incorporated winch up here in the bumper. That lower recovery hook is nice. You're getting arched A-arms up in there. Massive ground clearance, and then a radiator relocate kit. So the radiator is brought up high there to keep it up out of the mud, out of the debris. I also like all the different grab handles they put on the XMR. This is all about when you're in the mud and you're leaning off the side, you always have somewhere to grab and then pull on this ATV. Also the handles back here on the rack. That's also what these ones are here for. This is all about, again, the passenger back here, or you're just hanging off the side, literally pulling this thing out of the mud. Well, now you have all of these different handles to be able to get in there. And this is the 1000R right here, which means you're getting just over 100 horsepower as well. So yes, XMR, that's not new, but the fact that it's on the Max platform with that big wheelbase, that is new for 2027. On to the next one. Next, we'll look at this ATV. This is the Outlander Pro XT. Now, Outlander Pro is all about being more hard work focused, and the Pro XT here gets a bunch of new accessories for 2027. Things like those hand guards up there have now been added. You're getting these fender flares down here. You're also getting this footwell protector plate right there, and you're now getting a winch in the back. So yeah, they just added, you got a big steel bumper as well. They've just added a whole bunch of things from the accessory catalog, but they are now standard. And you can see, sorry, I said winch, I meant hitch. So you're now getting that hitch receiver as standard right from the factory. So yeah, the Pro customer here, you're just getting all of these new accessories just to make your machine feel that much better outfitted. All right, on to the next. Now let's take a look at some side-by-sides here, folks, and this is the 2027 Maverick Sport X. Now for 2027, you're only going to be able to get Maverick Sport with this X package on it, and you can see all of the upgrades there: dynamic power steering, Fox 2.5, podium piggyback shocks, 30-inch XPS tires, a full hard roof is standard, full heavy-duty plastic skid plates underneath, a 4,500-pound winch up front, those premium half doors, and the X graphics. And like I said, this is the only way you're going to get a Maverick Sport for 2027, but they have outfitted it nice with that winch, things like the doors and the roof. This is pretty much everything customers want and probably already get on their Maverick Sport, just built into a package. Now, just as a quick refresher, the Maverick Sport is sort of the midsize side-by-side in the lineup. This thing is 64 inches wide, and then they have that smaller Maverick Trail, which is just 50 inches wide, and then of course you have the X3 and the Maverick R, which are the crazy high performance models. But yeah, that is the Maverick Sport X for 2027. Now let's move on to the next one. Now let's take a look at this, the 2027 Maverick R, and this is also the X model here. Now, no massive changes for Maverick R, just some smaller ones. First of all, integrated door nets have come standard now on Maverick R, which is nice. And then the other kind of big change is that every single Maverick R gets the 2nd gen Rotax transmission, which was introduced on the XRC and on the Maverick R Max models. And what that does is it adds an extra low crawler gear basically, or an extra low first gear, because Maverick customers who were in the rocks trying to do crawling were saying that the lowest gear was still too high. So yes, they brought that out with the special editions, but for 2027, every single Maverick R gets that new transmission. So every single one of these things will have that lower first gear to help with that crawling. One other upgrade here on Maverick R we should be able to see is Can-Am said they've added stiffer braided brake lines to help with braking performance. Now, we can just swing right over here because this is the Maverick X3. Of course, this is it in DS and Max trim, but still there's some changes here I want to talk about. And just like Maverick R, not massive changes, but enough to go over. First of all, door nets, just like on Maverick R, so those are now integrated and come standard. And those lower door sections are now standard here on Maverick X3 as well. So just more overall protection for the occupants has arrived on Maverick X3. There's also new double bonded bushings, says Can-Am, which have been added to the front suspension to avoid squeaking and to help with maintenance. Plus, a full standard roof is now up there as well on Maverick X3. Next, we can look at this thing, the Defender XU XT cab. Now, the first thing I'll show you over here, you can see that this 2027 Defender uses the HD10 powertrain, but that has now been updated. It offers 80 horsepower from this triple cylinder engine. You can see there, 80 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. So last year they updated the HD11, and now they've also updated the smaller engine in the Defender, the HD10. And then the other thing that's new here is the XU model. And XU, once again, is basically meant for hard work, and it's bringing along a whole bunch of enhancements and accessories to make that possible. First of all, your factory winch down there. Again, you can see the arched A-arms and the huge ground clearance down below. So yeah, you can see the tool holders here. You can see these are the link accessory spots up here, so you can put different things in there. You're also getting a headache rack back there at the back of your bed, and also that hitch receiver down there now comes as standard equipment as well. Now the XU package is available throughout the Defender lineup, so if you add XU, you're gonna come outfit straight from the dealership with all of those handy accessories. And then of course you've also seen, this is the full cab model, so yes, you are getting full glass windshield there, full windows on the sides, and you can get HVAC inside if you want it. And folks, I think that's it for production models this year, but Can-Am did also bring two concepts that I want to show you. Let's go take a look. Now let me show you around this. This is the Can-Am Defender Preerunner. And as I mentioned, this is strictly a concept vehicle. This is not being offered for production. This is just a vehicle to show the capabilities that Can-Am have, just for them to say, hey, here's something that we could do. So the first thing you're gonna notice, 35-inch tires, and yes, this thing is a 6x6 with true 6-wheel drive on all those 35s. Now outside of that, yeah, clearly nothing is stock here. Really cool high center exhaust exit there. I like the setup for the spare tires back here as well. Of course, you can see the different link attachments all over the place. There's this footboard so you can step up there and get to your tires. Now, Can-Am says this thing was inspired by King of the Hammers, but not by the race vehicles, by the support vehicles. So the idea is that this thing would follow you out there on the racetrack, bring your tires, bring everything you need to where you need them. Definitely cool light up Can-Am badge there on the front. You can see Defender Preerunner cut right into the steel. Of course, full skid plates, massive suspension components, big arched A-arms. This thing is definitely cool looking. Same with the seats inside. You're getting those Sparco race seats in there. Pretty standard Defender interior. And yes, there are some seats in the back as well. I like the fuel caddies up there on the side too. So yeah, this is the Defender Preerunner. And like any concept vehicle, you know, Can-Am put these together and is always looking for feedback. Is this massive thing something you're looking for? Well, you know, drop in the comments and let them know, and I'm sure they will be reading them. And hell, even if there's just one thing you like on here, let them know, and that could come to in the future. Something like these method wheels. Those are pretty slick looking. All right, that's it for Preerunner. Let's go take a look at the other concept here in the booth. And this is the Maverick R X-Ray, and they call it the X-Ray because, as you can see on the door there, it was designed with what they're calling an exoskeleton, and the light comes right through it. Again, this is really just a exercise in design, but you can also see it's got those paddle tires ready for the sand, and that's what Can-Am says this thing was built for, the glamorous dunes out there at night. A lot of people are already running crazy light setups, so Can-Am said, you know what, let's show them a crazy light setup straight from the factory. Again, you're getting that light up Can-Am badge, the signature LEDs, those lights up there under the roof, and then clearly the exoskeleton lights here in the doors are the highlight, the main event. And they do look pretty neat. Otherwise, this is just your standard Maverick X3, or Maverick R, I should say. But of course, this thing looks incredible, and you're getting that light up red Can-Am in the back. That's a pretty cool looking side-by-side. Why don't you guys drop in the comments, let me know your thoughts. Well, folks, we're coming to the end of this one, and that's it for the updates to the 2027 Can-Am off-road lineup. And yeah, for 2027, no major changes in side-by-sides and ATVs. Nice to get that updated HD10 engine after they just did the HD11. But one of the exciting things that Can-Am did do is last night at their big presentation, when they announced all of this stuff, they also announced that for the next 4 years straight, we will get a new Can-Am off-road product every 6 months. So that is an aggressive launch schedule, and I'll be very curious to see what's coming in the future. But for now, you've seen everything that's out there for 2027. And now I need to hear from you, so drop in the comments, let me know your thoughts on everything you've seen here in this video. As always, while you're down below, don't forget to hit like, hit subscribe, hit join, become a member of TK Power Sports, and then come right back here to the channel and see what we're testing next. See ya.